Perseus went to the oracle, and the oracle prophesied that his daughter Danae would have a son that would kill him. Perseus came with rage and locked his daughter in a castle tower prison and never let her out. Days passed until Zeus saw her locked in the tower and fell in love with her. He made a gold downpour and made her have a baby. The baby's name was Perseus. After she had the baby Perseus, Perseus was so angry, he locked Danae and her child in a chest and cast them out to sea. One day, a fisherman cast a net and caught the chest in his net. The fisherman invited Danae and Perseus to come to his hut to stay. Perseus grew up to be a fine young man. Polydectes, the king of Seriphos, the island that Perseus and Danae stayed on, saw Danae and fell in love with her. He wanted to marry her. Danae refused because of Perseus. Polydectes was angry at Perseus because he wanted to marry Danae, for she could marry no one else. Perseus said, "I will bring Medusa's head back." And Polydectes laughed. "Well, let's see about that, because nobody has lived fighting her." So Perseus said, "Well, let's see about that. I'm going to go out there right now and kill her and bring her head back." "Ha, ha, ha," laughed Polydectes. Perseus runs into Athena and Hermes. "Take our stuff," they say. They give Perseus a shield, a sickle, a sickle, and winged sandals. And then they tell him to go see the nymphs of the north. But even the gods don't know where they live. But the Gray Sisters do know where the nymphs of the north are, but they will not tell unless you trick them. He goes to the Gray Sisters, and the Gray Sisters are arguing about their eye.
"Give me the eye, it's my turn."
They only have one, and one of them took the eye out to give to the other, but Perseus snatched the eye. Where is our eye? One of the Gray Sisters yelled. "I have it," said Perseus. "I will not give it back until you tell me where the nymphs of the north are." The Gray Sisters had no choice, so they told him. Perseus gave them the eye back and left them fighting.
"All right, give me the eye. It's my turn now."
When Perseus got to the nymphs of the north, he asked them where Medusa's cave was. The nymphs said, "Before you leave, we will give you a bag and a cap of invisibility. Now, go and kill Medusa, but be..." After that, he took off with the magic bag and the cap of invisibility to the Gorgon's cave. Perseus flew on, and then he came to the Gorgon's cave. He searched for Medusa. She came out slithering to him. Perseus hid behind a rock, and Medusa slithered past him. Then he put on his cap of invisibility. And then he remembered his shield, and he looked at it. He saw Medusa. Once he got close enough to Medusa, he chopped her head off. Out of her head came the Pegasus. The Pegasus neighed and woke up the other two Gorgon sisters.
Not good.
They tried to find Perseus, but he had put on the cap of invisibility. Perseus puts the head in the magic bag and flies off. Then, on the way back, Perseus sees Andromeda chained to a rock.
With a broken rock, you mean?
Andromeda told him her story. She was the daughter of King Cepheus and Queen Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia boasted that her daughter was more beautiful than the Nereids, the daughters of Poseidon. As punishment, Poseidon sent a sea monster to destroy the town and told Cassiopeia to tie Andromeda up to the rock. Andromeda was waiting for the sea monster to eat her. Perseus flew down to Andromeda and said, "I will save you." Andromeda said, "Look behind you." Then a tentacle rose out of the ocean. It was the sea monster. He had come. The sea monster was a hideous creature from the deep, and its name was the Kraken. Perseus flew toward the Kraken's head. When the Kraken opened its mouth, Perseus stabbed the sickle deep down in its throat, and the Kraken roared in agony. The blood came out of its mouth and turned the sea red. Perseus cut Andromeda's chains and flew with her to King Cepheus and Queen Cassiopeia's temple. Cassiopeia and Cepheus were so happy to see their daughter. Both of them thanked Perseus for saving their daughter. Perseus said, "May I please have Andromeda's hand in marriage?" Cassiopeia and Cepheus said yes. So after that, they had the wedding, and Perseus went to Polydectes' camp. Before Polydectes was about to marry Danae, Perseus burst through the door and said, "I have Medusa's head." Then he grabbed the bag and said, "Close your eyes, ladies." He took out Medusa's head, and they all turned to stone, except for Danae. Then Perseus put Medusa's head quickly back into the bag, and they celebrated the ending of Polydectes. Perseus became king of Seriphos, and Andromeda was his queen. When they died, Zeus put them in the sky as constellations. And they all lived happily ever after. The end.